Welcome to Sound Values, powered in part by LSA Burger and Classic of Denton. The views and opinions expressed by the show hosts and their guests are those of the show host and guests, and not necessarily those of the sponsors, DentonRadio.com, or the Denton Convention and Visitors Bureau. For more information, visit the Policies and Procedures page at DentonRadio.com.
For tuning in live tonight on DentonRadio.com. We are broadcasting out of the beautiful Discover Denton Welcome Center, and it is deadly hot out there on the Denton Square today, so be careful. My name is Kind Beats. Thank you for tuning in tonight on Sound Value, sponsored by LSA Burger Company. I want to welcome these three gentlemen right here to the studio, because there's a lot of power in this room right now. There's a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge, a lot of smarts, and we're going to dive into that tonight. This is the Denton Singer-Songwriters Guild. Now, I wanted to be corrected on that real quick, because I was like, is it singer-songwriters or just
straight songwriters?
Denton Songwriters Guild.
Denton
Okay,
Songwriters
cool.
Guild.
Awesome. So I'm chilling here with the Denton Songwriters Guild. I had to make sure. I think I wrote it right in the status for the show, though, so I think.
And there's no apostrophe in Songwriters.
No apostrophe. Okay,
just
good.
for all of them.
Good.
For
All
everybody.
of the songwriters.
All right. And so we have, of course, Matt Grigsby hanging out. We got Billy right here, and then Landon as well. I don't know why, Matt. I always feel like I always have to say your last name. You know, you're not just Matt to me.
Well,
Matt Grigsby.
there's so many Matts.
In case the government's trying to track him down.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, well,
Let's call
guys,
him Grigsby.
I'm excited to have you all on the show tonight. Thanks for making time to be here. It took a little bit of organization, but we made it happen. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thanks for
You
having
guys
us.
are each of you all kind of holds a different spot in the Songwriters Guild. You know, I just heard treasurer for you over here. So, you know, Billy, let's go ahead and start with you. What is your position in the Songwriters Guild? Do we have official
Vice
titles?
president.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Vice president.
Okay. VP is Billy. All right.
It's changed a few times over the years.
All right. And how about Matt?
I'm president.
There we go. Okay, we're talking to the president right here.
And I'm actually not the treasurer. I'm the chief financial officer.
the CFO.
Yeah, CFO.
I always liked that way more.
Yeah,
CFO.
it sounds a little bit
CFO
better.
is, when you had a friend whose dad was a CFO, it just, you're kind of scary. Like you had a badge or something like that. You weren't really sure, All right.
I just call him the money guy.
Yeah.
He's the money guy.
Yeah, go to him. He's the guy with all the dollars. So, guys, my first question that I kind of want to start off with is, let's just kind of jump right into it here. How did you develop the Songwriters Guild? How did it start? Who wants to take it?
It's something like, several of us had talked about over the years, and then all of a sudden somebody put up a Facebook page, and you're like, okay, I guess we're doing this.
And that was all it took, huh?
Yeah,
was-
the
Well-
Facebook page made it official.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we got together at Matt's house, actually, and talked about it, and then decided we wanted to try to get people together to be creative and write music, because we were all songwriters at that point and performers, and we wanted to encourage other people to do the same.
Yeah, we had talked about it for even years before we, came together as a group and had a name for all of this, and I think we just threw it out like, what if we just pose a theme to write on and meet up and see what comes out of it.
And the attitude I had about it was, if nobody shows up, at least my friends and I will get to write songs and we'll encourage each other. But people were showing up. I mean,
Okay.
we were meeting at my house for a while, and we were filling the place up. So
Yeah.
we had to move to a venue.
Yeah, so it really started as a good reason for friends to hang out and write
Yeah.
music, but then more people show up than that. Yeah, that's awesome. Just that kind of grassroots, organic, like, hey, we're going to hang out this day, and
Yeah.
maybe other people will show up to hang out too.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So how did it start to develop to where you had to move to a venue, and how do you kind of organize, more people start to show up than you think? How do you start to put that all together?
Yeah.
Yeah, we started to see, sometimes more people were more comfortable in a home and sometimes more comfortable in a venue. And, it got to the point where, our homes weren't big enough, or we just didn't want to do it in our homes all the time.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
we were just on an endless tour of Denton for a while, just trying different spots.
What
And,
was one of the first places that you guys, or the first place that y'all approached?
Let's see, early one
Bearded
was
Monk?
it was either Bearded Monk or J&J's. Those were one of the early ones.
J&J's.
We did Metzler's a couple times.
Yeah.
Nice. Especially like the Monk is always a great
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
They've been very good to us.
Yeah, I mean, me and my buddies we used to go up there, and we just called it Laptop Squad. Like 6 of us would show up and, here, check this out, listen to this, listen to
Oh,
this.
nice.
And we would just hang out at the Monk, and then some people would show up, some people wouldn't. So it was kind of like, that was one of the other reasons is that I did something similar, but in a totally different kind of genre and music. Was trying to create a space for people who like that music to be creative and come show each other different ways of writing music and things of that nature. So when you guys started to see more and more people showing up, did you start to develop, did you start having presentations or putting different people to talk about their songwriting? And how did you choose those people to put up there?
It's kind of a lot of experimentation. We even had to like shuffle around how we do it. So like these days we do like our monthly song challenge thing first. So we make sure, because we never know how many people wrote a song for a challenge, you know.
Okay.
So we start with that just to make sure we get through that. And if we have time, then we'll do an event where we just have like open discussions about songwriting or a particular aspect of songwriting, or we'll do a songwriting exercise of some sort.
Okay.
Or we've had people just, you know, share one of their songs and tell us about their experience with writing it or what they were thinking.
Okay, very cool. So what is the monthly song challenge? How does that work?
We go
So
ahead.
at each monthly meeting, we have little slips of paper that people write prompts on that they think would be good to write a song about. So it could be a phrase or a word or an idea, even a genre, and we put it in a hat. At the end of the meeting, we draw it out. And we actually draw out 3 of them because you never know what you're going to get on.
That was another thing experimental. We had to learn the hard way. You know?
Yeah.
Not to just stick to the one you draw.
No, not yours. Not yours. We don't want your slip of paper.
So we draw out 3 of them, and then we vote as a group on which one we want. And then that's the prompt for the
we've
next
even
month.
added a flush aspect in case all 3 of them are bad.
And we pick another 3.
But we can only do that once. We can't have endless flushes. You know? That's a waste of water.
Has there been a flush?
Multiple.
There's been flushes.
And there have been ones that we're all like, we don't like that, but then we get some good songs out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Some
awesome.
people just, write a joke and put it into the
Yeah.
prompt
Yeah.
box, and which it's
old
it's funny.
The hooligans in the crowd, trying to get a good
right.
laugh.
Yeah. I've been trying to get a taco themed prompt since the beginning, but nobody will
What are
go
some
for
of
the
your
taco.
What are some of y'all's favorite prompts that you've had? Most memorable ones, either funny or like
Pirate
songwriting?
song? Pirate song?
Pirate song was a
Yeah.
good one.
Okay.
Personal
cliche.
hygiene.
Oh, yeah.
Personal
All right.
hygiene.
That was a good one.
What's our current one?
Yeah.
Not much. No,
No,
not
that was
much
the
we
one
can
just
do is the last one.
That was the last
I
one.
may be wrong. I might be wrong.
I
That's what
might
it
be
was.
wrong. That's the current one.
All right. So
I might be wrong.
so it can be, like I might be wrong almost sounds like it would be part of the chorus, as where
Right.
personal
Yeah.
hygiene sounds more like a subject matter to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And one was your grandfather's car.
Okay.
That was our first one. Yeah.
Wait a minute. This one sounds familiar to me.
Well, we've all written songs and
Did you
performed
write a
them
song
around
for that? And is it on the album or? I
No,
don't know.
not that one.
Okay, for some reason that just hit me right when you said that. I was like, why does that? There might have been somebody else that I've talked to on this show before that wrote a song about their grandfather's car.
Now,
We might have talked
on
about
my
it.
album. There
I
was
don't
there was a prompt. If these hands could tell a story, and that
Okay.
ended
That
up
was
being
a songwriter.
that ended up being a song called Palm Reader. Of
Okay.
mine. And yeah,
Yeah.
That was an early one too, right? First
that was
few
an
months.
early one.
I guess after 3 years, all the interviews are washing together. Going crazy over here. So that's cool. So when you guys talk about songwriting exercises, what's kind of one of the ways that you can practice your songwriting besides just writing?
Well, I mean, sometimes just putting pen to paper is the best thing you can do. But
Yeah.
working with other songwriters in a group, we're doing like a speed writing
Yeah.
exercise. But we've tried a lot of different techniques. We did one that was a translytic. Yeah, remember that? It was like
where
the 4-language poem. You take a poem in a 4 language you don't understand, and you write down what you think it might say,
Oh.
and then you edit it down from there
You keep editing it
until it makes sense.
until it starts to
What
make
it
sense.
more like what it looks like. It says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you read it, you kind of what you feel. Yeah, what you feel from those words.
Yeah.
What the words make
kind
you
of draws
think about.
out your creativity a little bit.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that. I kind of want to. I
it
kind of
was,
want to do that.
Todd.
Todd
Yeah,
Hall.
we haven't seen
led
him in
that
quite a
one.
while.
Yeah, I want to try that just to experiment, see
Mhm.
what I think something says.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know.
That brings up a point too. We bring in speakers that have something to do with music writing, maybe something to do with creating a CD or that you
Mhm.
want to push out there, or how to write a song, which was what they were talking about with Todd Hall.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring in guest speakers every now and then.
Yeah, and this next month we're going to have a guest speaker, and it's going to be a music lawyer to discuss music business, copywriting,
nice.
and legality and
Yes.
such.
That's always been important, becoming increasingly more important.
Yeah, and I know I get asked questions about it all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah, some places are okay with covers, some are not. Some
Yeah.
you can do this, some you can do that.
true.
Yeah, all different types of with the legalities here and there. And so it's good. It's good for. The other day I was watching YouTube. It flips to listen to some music. It flips to an advertisement. It's a Spotify advertisement about like understanding the business side of music. And how you need this and the copyrights. And I was just like, what? Oh, this is getting it's getting extreme, but. When you look at how, like, I have some buddies who make their living, like, from Spotify because they have that many followers.
That's
like, I have a
awesome.
friend who almost has 1 million followers on Spotify.
Wow.
It's crazy, and he's just like a dude I can call up,
Borrow money from.
Yeah, but it's no, we won't go that far, But yeah, it's very important. So that's really cool that you guys have those different. It's not just going to be this just specifically songwriting, but hey, here's the business side of it too.
Yeah.
Because especially when people are first starting off, they don't really think about it. You're just beginning here and there, but then all of a sudden, if you start to find yourself making some type of a living doing it, you kind of want to start to know where you're putting your finances and things of that nature and keep it, some type of paperwork.
Yeah.
So having someone
Absolutely.
there, and especially when, like you guys are saying, writing a song, that has a lot more. That's powerful across the board in all different types of music. Lyrics in a song. Once again, in my world of DJing and making beats, like when you sample something, there's always been a big debate about that. Whether is it stealing, is it not? Can you use little pieces of it? So that's cool. I might have to come to that just to know. Just to sit back. Yeah, I'm always fascinated with that kind of stuff.
What date is that?
August 21st.
August 21st.
If that's a
Okay.
Wednesday. If it's not a Wednesday, I'm wrong.
Well, we'll find that. I'll
That'll
look on
be
the
an
calendar.
Armadillo Ale Works.
Armadillo.
Yep.
So how did Armadillo start to get involved in this?
Well,
We're looking for a venue.
that's right. We were just looking for a new place to be. The last places we were going there just didn't really feel that great. And we walked in there, I was like, oh man, this place is big. And they've got like a private area with a stage. We approached them about it, and they're like, yeah, sure. And then they were open to it. And then we talked to them about hosting an open mic there. So now we host an open mic
Nice.
there every
Very
Thursday.
cool.
They've helped us with fundraising.
Yeah.
They hosted my CD release. They
Yeah.
They
hosted
have-
another member's CD release there as well.
They have a decent stage.
Yeah.
I think it's a good stage.
We did that songwriting competition there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we did. The Texas State Songwriting Competition. we did there.
Armadillo's a good place, man.
Yeah, and
They've
it's
always been
family
cool to us,
friendly,
too. Yeah.
So it's it's great for us.
Yeah. So, for some people, they're kind of like, well, what'd you do? Did you just walk in and ask? Is that what?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. That's what you got to do. You got to
Yep.
be able to jump out there.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the most important things is like, some people are always so baffled to hear all you did was ask.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just walked in and said, hey, I have this idea. That's the thing is most people, are going to give you a chance once, maybe even twice,
Yeah.
and then if it's good, they want to keep doing it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
especially if you're bringing good people out too.
And we meet on a Wednesday. It's just not like they usually have a big event going on Wednesday, and there doesn't cost them anything. We we set up the sound and do all that. So
Yeah.
it's just us doing our thing and our members buying their beverages. So it's a win-win.
Exactly. That's awesome, man. So how often do you guys meet up?
One Wednesday a month.
One
Our
Wednesday a
public-
month?
Our public meeting.
All right, cool. Are there smaller gatherings that might happen here and there, like shows that people can catch in between that?
Yeah, well, we have our open mic every Thursday, and then
Okay.
right now we do like a monthly fundraiser,
Okay.
and
Cool.
sometimes
And
we
that
have
all
events.
takes place at Armadillo?
So far,
So
Okay.
far.
we'll probably do a fundraiser at another place.
At Backyard, right?
Yeah,
Maybe so, yeah.
Just to
Well.
spread around the love.
One of
But
my favorite venues.
the folk festival is actually going to be at Backyard on
Really?
this year. Yeah,
Nice. That's
October 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Okay, I'm going to write that down so I remember. October 4th, 5th, And the 6th. All right. So for the open mic, is it kind of like a pre-sign up? You know, some places have like you got to show up the week before and sign up for the next week. How does y'all's open mic night work?
We don't do that.
Okay.
You know, the list starts fresh every week with the list goes down at 6:45.
Okay.
We start at 7.
Awesome.
Which runs 7 to 10.
All
Because
right,
it's a shorter open mic, and I always felt like the pre-week sign-ups, it's a good way to fill your list, but it's not a good way to bring in new people. Like people come and your list is already full and they can't sign up. So
Okay.
we want to be open to new people coming in each week.
Very cool. Now I have another question, kind of going back to the roots in general. Like, you know, how did each of y'all meet? How did that occur? You know, how did you guys meet? Everybody has a story on how they met.
I mean, you and I may go back further than that, but Landon and I probably banter.
Definitely
Banter.
Yeah.
You and I
Banter
probably
was
Like James.
well, you used to live around the corner from me, so
Yeah, that's true.
Banter was a coffee shop around the corner, right off the square.
Okay.
They closed in what, 2012 maybe?
Yeah.
has it
2013.
been that long?
I moved here and then they closed shortly after that.
Yeah.
So,
But they were just a hotbed of musicians. I mean, they had an open mic there every Thursday night. Matt hosted it for a long time. He might have been the longest host. I don't know, but
Well, before that was Bone Doggy.
Bone Doggy hosted it before
Pretty sure Doggy
Matt.
the hosted it
Doggy
longer than I did.
hosted it.
yeah.
for
That's
quite a
when I
while.
started going there, and that's when I met Matt. Was when
Okay.
Bone Doggy was hosting it. But Matt then became the host, and I performed up there, so we got to know each other that way.
Okay.
And
Cool.
I actually didn't know Billy until I met him at Matt's house.
Okay.
And Banter's closing actually is probably a lot of what pushed us to start the Songwriters Guild, because it was
Right.
there was not really a home for
folk
the
music.
singer-songwriter scene,
Okay.
and a lot of the creative scene in general, because Banter was also they hosted a lot of poetry nights.
Okay. Very
such,
definitely.
That was a creative hub that was subtly missing.
And when I'm saying like it moved down short, it closed down. I remember seeing it, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. I was just like, oh, like you know, I never even
Yeah.
got to go there.
Yeah.
You know, in the time.
Before it
in
was
the time.
before it was Banter, it was Brick House, and they just always had an open mic at that spot until they changed it.
Yeah, and it was one of the
Well,
best.
good on y'all.
Yeah.
You know, you guys saw a need. You were
Little
like, we're gonna
motivation.
do it. You can't stop us. We will write our songs. We will share our creativity. That's awesome. So is there one of the other things too that a lot of people can be afraid of when they're writing a song is that they are really expressing themselves, you know, in a way. Some people can be a little nervous to do that. Do you guys have any kind of tips for people out there when you write and you know, some people they'll start off with covers, you know, but then when it comes to performing your own song, is there a way to, you know, boost that confidence to kind of believe in what you're writing a little bit more?
Yeah, it's, you know, we're always our own worst critic, so turning off your inner critic is really key for any art form. And just doing it, putting it out there, and you know, you can always edit it later.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you know, you just get it down and be like, hey, I love this. You come back the next day and be like, oh, I hate this.
Yeah.
And,
I'd say it's a fluid thing, and yeah, you do have to be able to just keep writing even though you're doubting yourself. But once you have something, then I would say share it with people you love and see what their feedback is, and it can change from there. And
I'd also add, like, the more you play it, the better it gets.
yeah, that's
so
true.
if you play it
does
once
develop.
and it's no good, well, there's a
playing
reason
it.
for that. Keep playing it. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it develops over time.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to continue going back and try this and then do this and
yeah, I've had songs click years later.
Right.
You know?
Man,
Like,
yeah,
I
me
didn't
too.
occur to- that never occurred to
Yeah,
me.
or I have something that I thought was terrible, you know, and then I go back and I listen to it, and I'm like, that was actually pretty good. I made that like 3 years, and then I start to listen to what I have now, and I'm like, that's no good. But I know the same thing's going to happen 3 years from now. I'll go back and listen to it, and he'll be like, I don't know why I was such a critic of myself. And I like how you said, show it to people that you love and other people that you're being creative with.
Yeah.
I credit one of my best friends, Jared Jackson, for never lying to me. Being like,
Yeah,
look, man,
that's rare.
you're one of my best friends, but this just isn't very good, you know. And he was like, yeah, and you know, so I had to learn to take that criticism, you know.
That's
so
helpful.
yeah, and because it was one of my best friends doing it, it was easier to take that criticism
Yeah.
rather than a stranger.
Yeah.
You know, and so I want to give a shout out to Jared for helping me, you know, become a better musician through quality criticisms.
Cool.
You know, and
Hard to find.
We all need a little Jared in our life.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna boost an ego right there, but it'll be all right. No, much love. So let's kind of jump in and start talking about what we've got coming up here. Of course, your shirt is from last year's Denton Folk Festival,
That's right.
2018. But we're going to have them in a different month this year, I see. And we've also got 3 days.
3 days.
Mm-hmm. So what was the first year the Folk Festival happened?
So this was the second one. So the first one was
2017.
2017. What year is it? Yeah, 2017, and that was we did it at Jago House.
The Jago.
So it was a house fest.
Yep.
Yes.
And they, we kind of
Indoor,
modeled it
outdoor.
after they had a Jago Fest
Very cool.
show already, and they helped with the organization of that, and
Yeah.
had the sound ready for us.
How did you decide on Jago House? Like what made that come about?
We had connections just in our group
Okay.
to the guys that were living at Jago House, and one of us had an idea. I think it was Olivia Countryman to name drop, but she had the idea, and we asked them, and they said, yeah, they'd love to do it. I mean, at that point, they
Yeah.
were trying to get as many things in there as they could get,
That's very cool.
So-
Very cool. And how did you start to go about organizing it, putting it together? Once you get a venue, that's everybody says the first step is having a place to have the event.
Yeah.
And then you can start to worry about every other piece of the
Yeah,
puzzle.
working out
Mhm.
sound and everything, and
Yeah.
and that's why Jago House was essential for our first year, because we had never done a festival
Right.
before. So they had, and then we that first year especially, we just had I think it was all local acts. I don't think we brought in any out of towners, so it was easy just to look for those classic folk bands.
Yeah.
that,
Was it just
but
one day that first year? or
2 days.
It was 2 days?
2 days.
Okay.
yeah.
Very cool.
Or-
And we had great weather that year. And we
Yeah,
had
it
a lot
was-
of people
Yeah.
show up. It was
That
a
first
really
one went
good
really
year.
well. That first one went really well.
Yeah.
For,
And so that sounds like one of the
Second
other-
year, the weather didn't do so.
Second year
You
wasn't-
didn't sound. Yeah, you were
wasn't so-
unhappy with the
so-
weather that year. You
It was like-
commented earlier.
It was
yeah.
like
Yeah.
2 days before the fest, the weather was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
The weekend of it was just like freezing, even though it was April.
Yeah,
it was already
freezing
April.
cold, blowing wind.
Oh,
And it was
No.
just
So much
awful,
wind.
awful freezing weather. And then 2 days after the fest, back to just beautiful, immaculate,
Yeah.
go fly a kite day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a
So,
had a
yeah.
large venue, and then we had to move everything to a house because of the weather.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that is Jazz Fest this year was a miracle. Like it
It
didn't
was real
rain
pretty, yeah.
the
It
whole
was.
time. I was just like, no way,
Yeah.
no way, is it? No,
Yeah.
it's not. And then like the day after it was, I
Yeah,
was like, we
right.
got it for once.
For one time,
For
yeah.
once, it wasn't like smoldering hot, standing in a puddle of mud while eating my monkey bread or whatever. Like, yes, it was so comfortable
Yeah.
and nice, man.
So say, if there's ever a drought, just throw a festival.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We'll be fine. I've got an idea for an outside music show. Did someone say fun? Yeah, that was like I put on. I did a bunch of events for a while, and then I was gonna do a hoop it up like basketball tournament at Backyard on Bell, and then that got rained out, and then I had another event. And that got rained out, and then I have another one, and that one got rained out, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to stop for a little while.
Yeah.
It's all catching up to me over the past 6 years of successfully never. In the 6 years before those 3, I had only had one show canceled, and it was the first time I was supposed to play at Harvest House. That was it. Of all the outdoor places that you could play in town.
Yeah.
So I was appreciative. I let it slide. I forgave the weather. I let it go. So as you start to get into the second year, not this year, but last year and the second year, what were some of kind of those like lessons that you learned from the first year of planning something so big?
I think we intended on starting earlier, so starting to plan out, a little further out from the festival.
Yeah. We wanted to,
And
a bigger area,
bigger.
and we
area.
wanted to do bring in more vendors and such.
After
sponsors.
After the event, now looking back on it, I'm like, did we bite off more than we can chew? Because we had, now all of a sudden we had tickets that we were selling. We had wristbands. We had, we had to bring in vendors for food. We had like food trucks and stuff out there. So it was like a lot bigger than our first year. I think we took a big leap that year, but then it got rained out.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. If the weather was great, maybe it would have been awesome.
Yeah. Where did it happen
know.
the second year?
It was at a place called Parker's House, which is
Okay.
like a
I know
like a
exactly.
haunted
I know
house
exactly.
venue outside.
I've played there.
Yeah.
For one of the festivals that was going on out there. 2 of them actually. So, Yeah, if it rains out there, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, people aren't willing to drive out there if the weather's bad.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of those places where it's not like, oh, let's just pop around the corner and check it out real quick.
Yeah.
Grab a cup of tea and we can go inside if it's too cold.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, man. And so, how are you guys? I know we're not announcing who is playing this year, but from last year, who were some of? We can kind of go around here. We'll start. Billy, what was one of your favorite acts from last year?
Well,
I played last year. Let's see.
yeah, let's look. Well, Boxcar Bandits, of course, every time. But,
Those guys are great.
There were just some instances where the show was just so excellent, and like Claire Morales last year, she played great, but the whole time I'm feeling a little bad for the performers because they're up there freezing and playing their guitars.
Yeah.
So, the shows were great. It was memorable.
She played right before the Deer, which is like that was really the only like big out of town band that we brought.
Yeah.
And we even like offered them. It's like, hey, if you want to play under this pavilion, so to kind of get in the wind, we'll crowd around you because there wasn't a whole lot of people out braving the elements. Out there, but they were like, nope. We've got a guarantee we're going on stage. They went on there and did it.
That's awesome,
and they did it.
And they were really good.
That's
they're
great.
always really good. They're one of my favorite bands for sure.
I even feel that way sometimes, like over at Eastside when they'll have bands during the summer, and it's like, I think it was close to this time last year they were having there was a bunch of bands playing up there, and I was like, I don't know how these guys are doing. It was so hot. It's just like, I know it's 120 degrees on that stage right now with all that stuff around you. The stage is most likely black anyway, so it's radiating up. So you're just sitting there melt. Yeah, man. Shout out to anybody who plays outside in Texas during the summer.
Yeah.
All right. You are sweating for your dollars and your cents there.
That's right.
And so, where is it going to be happening this year? Where's the venue?
We're going to be at Backyard on Bell this year.
Yes. And the great thing about Backyard is if it does do something,
it's rain or shine.
we can move.
We can move.
I've had to do that very quickly. At the
The capacity goes down, but we can still make it a party. It can still be great.
fun.
I've had that work in my favor. Where all of a sudden it's just packed in there. And all of a sudden the energy gets a little bit more.
Yeah, it gets really intimate and powerful.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is like Backyard is awesome, but like I've been there when there's 2,000 people there, and so they can fit 2,000 people into that space. Oh, wow. And so. Like you can have 75 people there, but it's such a big area that you're kind of like, where is everybody?
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden you get them all in there. I've had that happen at like punk shows when I was running sound and stuff like that, and all of a sudden the energy gets a little bit more hyped. You know what I mean? Things start to get a little bit crazier.
Yeah, that's what was great about our first one because it's like even though if there wasn't 1,000 people or anything, but it's not a big house, so it was just like jam packed in the room.
Yeah.
So Joe Pat Hennon played that year. And they were just so excited. And Levi Cobb said the same thing. Levi Cobb and the Big Smoke headlined, and they both said, they was like, oh, man, that's one of the best shows we've ever played because it was just so packed and intimate, and people were just stomping and hollering and high energy. And so those intimate shows can be really powerful.
I think there's something, too, that kind of reminds it of those like certain shows of our youth. Those 2 or 3 shows you might have had at a house party where it was just packed and everybody around you, and it feels like a blur, but you can remember every moment, And I think when you get a little bit older, and you get to experience that energy again, I think it brings some type of, youthfulness out in us all, no matter what music you're making. So, that's I love that energy. I've been to all different types of shows. I remember when I was at Walkeroo's Music Festival, and I walked in to see Yonder Mountain String Band, and I wasn't very familiar with any of that type of music, bluegrass or anything really like that, but these people were dancing so wild and having so much fun that I was just like, okay, so what do we? How do
I jump in there?
Yeah, and I guess the guy was like, you just go, mate, you just go.
No judgment there.
And I was just like, I don't have a beard. He's like, it doesn't matter, just go. So yeah, any type of music too. It doesn't matter. If I've been in like the tiniest, small rooms down in Deep Ellum listening to heavy metal or punk, some grunge, because my friend's like, there's an anniversary for Red Dead Club. And I'm like, what? I thought that was a video game. He's like, no, it's a serious punk bar in Dallas. I'm like, all right, let's go. Next thing you know, you're moshing with a bunch of people. But it's just fun, man.
Yeah.
That energy is great, man.
That's right.
So how do you start to put something like this together as it grows, and you're going to make it 3 days this year. So we're stepping it up on the days this year. So how do you guys start to book everybody? How does that process work?
Well, you fill in the obvious ones first. You know, the people folk bands that are still here in town. We're not necessarily that they've played before, but are still active here in town. So, you know, bands like Levi Cobb or Docking Car Bandits that are just staples in the folk scene. Those are easy ones to just get on the list and you see where you're at. And then, you know, we want to, as we progress, we want to bring in bigger names from out of town. And so we start thinking about who would we want to sit. And then, you know, once you get those solidified, then you start kind of filling the blanks.
Yeah. Do you start off, because, you know, what's great about those local bands, they're amazing local bands, but you can just pop over to Eastside and ask them to play. You know, you're gonna run into somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so how do you get a hold and open up the conversation with an out of town band?
It depends. Like, you know, I usually just go to the website. And sometimes you can email them directly, or like last year, I tried to email the band there directly, and their agent emailed me back. You know, and they were like, "We want this much," and I was like, "No." And they were like, "Okay, but here's a writer," and I'd never even seen a hospitality writer before.
Oh man!
So, you know, we had to buy them stuff like, you know, like we had to get them a room to stay, you know, which is reasonable.
That's normal.
Yeah.
But then there was like coconut water.
Yeah.
And hummus and like some craft beers. I was like, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, the essentials, man. Hummus, you know, coconut water and craft beer.
And so I learned, I was like, I need an agent.
And don't forget the pita chips. You show up without pita chips, I'm not playing. You know, they better be Stacy's too.
Tearing this place
None of that
apart.
cheap off-brand stuff. You know. Yeah, it's like, okay, well, man, do you want garlic or red pepper? I want to know what kind of hummus you want. There's a lot out there, okay? You got to be specific, you know? Okay, so you get the bands, you get the venue, then kind of starts to come the times, because, you know, it's that all, like, because bands will be like, when are we playing? So do you guys kind of sort that out before you contact the band or afterwards?
Generally, I give them a rough idea of
Okay.
when I think they'll be playing, and
Okay.
I'm usually like, tentatively, you're playing it
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah.
But it's going to be flexible, so I intend to be there the whole time.
Yeah.
Or I'll be like, we'll send you more information later when we know what's going on.
Do you organize it by, because some people will be like, oh, well, you know, this music is great for this time of day, or this music's good for this time. Do you organize things by kind of who might have the best turnout, or is there another way that you do it?
You know, turnout's definitely a factor, but we try to have different like feels for different days. Like, you know, Friday we go for more of a mellow, chill vibe, and then Saturday's the raucous party night. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, you know, this is the first year we've had the third day, but and that one's a world music specific.
Okay.
So we're trying to bring in different cultural sounds that aren't necessarily recognized in the
Nice.
scene as often.
See, I keep wanting to say, well, who's playing? You know, I'm like, I can't ask that question. This was a big part of the conversation, and Matt cut me off before the interview even started. He said, we're not going to talk who's playing.
Definitely
No
all
specifics.
All the people that are listening need to check out our Facebook page.
Okay.
We'll make all the band announcements on there.
Okay, and so where can they find y'all on Facebook?
So facebook.com/Denton Folk Festival.
All right, the Denton Folk Festival.
Will be at DentonFolkFestival.com. It's down for repairs.
We call that industry lag.
Yeah.
I learned that. All right, and so is this going to be a ticketed event this year?
It will be.
Okay, cool. And so are people able to buy tickets online or just at the door?
No, we'll definitely have pre-sales, and
Okay.
we intend to have the pre-sale starting within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, very nice. And do we know ticket prices yet?
Yeah, we're thinking at the door it'll be $10 each day.
Okay,
But
very
if
cool.
you want to get pre-sale, you can have all 3 days for only $20.
Ooh, I
So
like
it's
that.
pretty good incentive to go ahead and get your tickets early.
Now, can I ask how many bands are playing?
Sure.
Yeah, we have to count.
Tentatively.
Let's see,
Oh,
12.
wait,
Let's use that.
7, 11,
19,
and 6.
Like 25, 26.
Nice, man.
24, 25. Yeah.
See, y'all are just very chill, relaxed people who make this sound way too easy. Even when I'm trying to be like, come on, tell me how hard it was, Matt. You're like, I just sent an email, dude. I don't know what you want me to say, man.
You know, I keep the crying
Yeah,
separate thing.
yeah, smooth like butter over here. I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. All right, guys. So just a couple more questions. It's been a great interview once again. I really, really appreciate you guys coming out tonight. So I kind of want to just talk maybe about each of y'all individually, because I've seen y'all perform, but Landon, this is our first time meeting. So I kind of want to start with you, man, and kind of get a background for what is your what's your music, man? What do you play? What do you like?
Yeah. I really like Todd Snyder. I like his music, man.
Okay.
But I lead a band called City Folk.
Okay.
We play kind of folk rock, Americana music around town, mostly around Denton, but we do branch out. Play Justin or Argyle or, that kind of thing. Other breweries and stuff like that.
Very cool. Very cool, man. And so can people find y'all online anywhere?
Yeah, we're also on Facebook.
Okay.
City Folk.
Very cool.
On Facebook. We're on SoundCloud. We've also done a series with Tiny Couch Productions, which is on YouTube.
Yep. Yes, I know that. I know that one as well.
So you can check us out there.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool, man. How many people are in it?
There's 4 of us.
Okay. Yeah. Is there percussion? Because I know sometimes in folk bands you won't have percussion.
Yeah, we have a cajon, which is like a box that you sit on. And,
yeah. Yep.
And you can get a lot of sound out of that.
Definitely.
Box. A lot more portable than a whole drum set, but it's not as loud,
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, we have a mandolin player.
Okay.
A bass player, which is actually Billy right here.
You're so talented.
Yeah, he's amazing. And I play guitar and harmonica, and then we have a cajon player.
Very cool. Are you what? It might have been. I think it was like Saturday or Sunday. Was it the? It might be coming up actually. There was like a harmonica festival down at Poor David's Pub in Dallas. I would hear it all the time listening to the radio to 89.3. They would advertise it and like the Super Kings, and I was like, I've seen those guys. It's always cool to hear like somebody that you've seen like up there.
Yeah.
At LSA. Like, hey. Yeah. Yeah. That's very cool, man. The harmonica is a cool instrument.
Yeah. It's
How
fun.
did you? Because like. How did you decide to start playing? Was the guitar first or harmonica?
The guitar came first, but I'm also a big Bob Dylan fan.
Okay, definitely.
And when he throws harmonica in there, it really gets me in the heart, gets me in the feels. So that's why I started.
It's a great instrument, man.
Playing with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a small thing that can do so much.
Yeah. Also, I can play guitar, but I can jump in a jam on a harmonica a lot easier than
that
guitar,
it's much easier. Definitely.
And I love to jam.
Yeah, so. Those are the good times for sure. All right, Matt.
I want to point out at some point, at one point, all the members of City Folk were board members of the Denton Songwriters Guild.
Okay.
Everyone except me. It was like they mutinied against me.
Yeah, we did.
Started a band. You can't be in it, Green.
No.
And he plays harmonica too, but I wouldn't know.
I've seen it. Like that was that's what's like. There were so many people that I worked with at LSA that were musicians that I didn't know, and some of them I still like work with today. And like when I saw Danielle Longville perform with her band Class Action the first time, I was like, "What is that?" She was just killer, And then the first time I saw you play up there, it was killer. And Sage Baker, who's been on the show a couple times, totally different types of all 3 different types of music. You have kind of an R&B, soul project, rock and roll project, and then the folk stuff, man. So there's just so much talent in this town, and it's awesome that y'all kind of like said, hey, even after banter went away and maybe that space was gone, y'all said, well, let's just do it ourselves then. Yeah. So Matt, do you have any new projects, any stuff that you're working on, man?
Well, I hope to be in the studio soon, but I perform as a solo often, but I play. I do have a full band project, but we also perform under my name.
That's awesome.
I usually do Matt Grigsby and I make it up each show. Lately, we've been Matt Grigsby and the skipped rehearsals because we just never get together.
Well, luckily in a town like Denton, you can find musicians who don't need to rehearse. They just know what they're doing. It's absurd, man. Yeah. So, Billy, you had an album come out not too long ago, but you're a machine when it comes to the songwriting. So, you got anything new on the way, man?
I am working on a few. I have about 4 or 5 songs ready to do something with.
Yeah.
And I have to jump in. He just cut an album, so
that's
sale.
what he was saying.
Okay, yeah.
We talked about it.
All right.
It was fantastic.
I was here before.
We had him on. That's how this all happened. Was this? I was like, hey man, I want to talk to all of y'all. Yeah, man. So, man, I had this other question, and now it just. Just
Yeah,
going away.
you can find that stuff through R.W. Radcliffe on Spotify
Okay.
and Facebook, and I have a website now. I didn't have a
Nice.
website before, but I'm learning how to do that stuff. So
Getting
yeah,
industrious.
yeah,
Yeah.
trying to figure it all out.
Very cool. That's what's up, man. Well, fellas, it's amazing how quickly 45 minutes can go by. Now, before the show's over, though, I have to ask the serious questions. The serious questions here is what everybody's favorite snack is. I'm not sure if I asked you this the first time you were here. Usually I remember, but Landon, let's start off, man, because when you're slaving away, working hard at the festival this year, people need to know what snack to bring you to keep you happy and keep you going, man.
Bring me some club and cheddar crackers. The club
Club
crackers.
and cheddar crackers.
Yeah,
Club
I
and
like
cheddar
those. You can get them at a gas station. Most of them.
That's awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll write that down. Club and cheddar crackers. Landon. All right, Matt.
Fruit snacks, because I'm 6. I just love them so much.
You have fruit snacks at home?
I have a big
He
bag.
has a bag of them.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like a gummy bear size Harbro bag of
Well, it's,
fruit snacks?
right now it's in a grocery bag because we took them to the our last fundraiser, and I got the leftovers.
That's awesome.
He stumbles out of bed at 5 a.m. and grabs those fruit snacks.
That is amazing.
That's my morning coffee. Sugar rush. Ooh.
Yeah, Matt, can I get you some coffee? No, thanks. I've got fruit snacks. Ooh, great, my favorite.
Just pour water on them.
Just because it's purple and shaped like a grape doesn't mean it tastes like a grape, man. It's not orange, all right? All right, and Billy, what about you, man? What's the snack of choice?
Beer.
Beer. Yeah.
Or coffee.
liquid.
Or coffee.
Yeah.
Depending on the
Beer.
day.
It can be a
Depending on the
snack.
time of day.
Yeah,
Hey,
be a
it's got
snack.
carbs. Yeah.
It's
It's
pretty
all
filling.
there. Exactly.
There's probably some
It's
diets based
fine.
on that.
We don't need to defend it.
No,
Everybody
no.
knows.
Okay, I'll say chips and salsa.
Okay, chips and salsa. You
But
you
those
go
go.
like-
Those go to
yeah,
together.
see
Yeah,
everything
really
just
well.
fine there. Ixnay the coffee with the chips and salsa. But
No.
yes, I'll have I'll have the brew on the side, please. That'd be fantastic. All right, now also before we go, guys, because we talked about a lot of stuff today. There's a lot of information passed around. Is there anything that I missed? Maybe some type of announcement, something that we might have forgotten to mention about the Folk Festival. We talked
Okay.
about price. We talked about all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's reiterate.
Just
If
recap
you're
it.
interested in knowing more, or you want to watch out for those band announcements coming in the next 2 or 3 weeks and pre-sale tickets, go to our Facebook and like the Denton Folk Festival page
Okay.
and follow us. Also, there will be a website up in the next week or two.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
Once,
post
once
that on the
repairs are
Facebook
complete,
page.
you know how it goes.
Industry lag.
Also, if you want to help support us financially, you can go to the Denton Songwriters Guild website, and there's a donate link, Denton Songwriters Guild/donate. And we're a nonprofit, so
Every week at Armadillo, come hang out.
Yep.
you
know,
come hang out.
Write a song,
And,
show
That's
people
right.
what you got.
That's every
Mhm.
Thursday, Armadillo.
Every Thursday, 7 to 10.
Every Thursday, 7 to 10. Nice.
Right?
When's
Yeah.
our next guild meeting?
August 21st.
21st.
And hold
That
on,
is a
hold on,
Wednesday.
hold on. Let's see. What was the? I could have sworn I wrote down the topic of today. The challenge. I might be
Oh.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, and the challenge.
But you're
is I
not,
might
because
be
that's
wrong.
right.
Yeah. Look at this guy. Look at these.
However,
rhymes.
that inspires you to write a song. You don't have to have that exact lyric in there.
Yeah, there are no
Whatever that
rules.
wants to create, whatever that's.
We do vote on a winner, though, but you don't win any money or anything. You win a piece of paper.
Yeah, exactly. The Denton
Bragging
Songwriters
rights.
Guild, where it's all written down and the points don't matter.
Yeah.
You know? all that fun stuff, man. Well, guys, thank you so much, Billy. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot, man. Matt, thank you
Thanks,
very
sir.
much.
Nice to
Landon,
meet you.
yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out, guys. Folks, once again, sitting here with the Denton Songwriters Guild. All right, and if you ever see these guys, you got some club crackers, let them know. Hide your fruit snacks from this guy right
I'll get
here.
'em.
And get my man, a brew with some chips and salsa, okay? All right. And, you guys can check out the Denton Folk Fest. It's going to be October 4th, 5th, and 6th. The weather is going to be phenomenal.
It is.
Yeah.
It's going to be
out
amazing.
there.
And go hang out with them every Thursday from 7 to 10 at Armadillo Ale Works for their open mic night, fellas. Once again, thanks for coming out. We appreciate you. That's the end of August. Y'all, the last guest for August.
All right. Thanks for
All
having
right.
us on.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
going to roll into September. Once again, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. Make sure you like the Facebook page, DentonRadio.com. We will see y'all next week right here. Peace.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to thank our partners and sponsors who made this show possible. And now stick around for a word from all of us here at Discover Denton.